If we are interested in promoting social justice, then you've got to be on the building block, the foundational block of human life. I hope the message that we have today not only fills us because it comes from God, not only fills us with zeal, but it confirms us that as we go about our prophetic work in this world, we engage others in the work of human life. Just as a mother and a father, a husband and a wife, they are the foundation of all life because they are open to it. You can't have the unitive without the procreative. So with us, you can't have the social without the loving and caring and witness for the unborn child, and standing up so the world hears their voices, even when those voices have been silenced. Well, I'd like to close with where I began. Can a mother forget her infant, be without tenderness for the child of her womb? Even should she forget, I will never forget you. See, upon the palms of my hands, I have written your name. May our gracious God sustain us in our desire, in our willingness to be his witnesses and protect human life, so that, as Blessed Teresa of Calcutta said, if a child is not safe within the womb of a mother, is anyone safe in this world? May we bring that safety, that love, that dignity, and swim against the tide that human life comes from God. We protect it at every stage, and it begins at conception. God bless you.
Why don't we just take a seventh inning stretch to stand up in your place, and we'll take a couple minutes to get the blood flowing again. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to be with you this evening. I was thinking on my way coming down here that I have, with the exception of the cathedral, I believe, I've been here to this parish church more often than I've been to any other parish church. And I think it has something to do with the charm of your pastor. So, you know, I'm very grateful to Bishop Quinn and my brother bishops throughout the state of Minnesota because, as you know, last September we took the risk, maybe the prophetic stance of setting out that DVD on marriage as a union between one man and one woman. And we stood together in that fight. And I'm happy to say that for the first time in 30 years, the fact that our House and Senate is more amenable to that position is a tribute, I think, to the witness that the bishops brought and to the witness that all of you brought to saying we must stand up for marriage as a union between one man and one woman. And I don't know if you know it or not, but this past week there were 3 bills introduced in the House having to do with pro-life. And those hearings were done during the week. I was out of town myself, but I heard that they went very well. And so we hope that we may need your support in calling your representatives and your senators and that sort of thing and getting that going. I've been a little less enthusiastic about the fact that there seems to be some resistance on the part of the leadership in both the House and the Senate to introduce legislation having to do with a constitutional amendment on marriage. And so I think between now and April 29th, we may need your help to make some phone calls and send some emails and really convince them that this is the moment. This is the moment for us to say we need to stand up and be counted. So I'm hoping that you will join me in that effort. I began composing this talk in my mind last January when I was with the bishops of Region 8 beginning our annual retreat in Tucson, Arizona. I was praying each day, but I was also thinking about other things. The first day of that retreat was Saturday, January 8th, the same day on which Jared Longder opened fire on a crowd in a strip mall only 10 miles away from our retreat center. Once again, our nation and our world was traumatized by an act of senseless violence that left 6 dead and 13 others wounded, including Gabby Gifford, a local congresswoman. Suddenly, unexpectedly, countless lives had been changed forever. Man's inhumanity to man was once again on display. What can we do to change that, I thought? How can we ever overcome this? Somehow we all know that we can be better than this. To kill life, any life, before its natural end is wrong. We feel this in the core of our being. So why do we perpetuate this kind of senseless violence by promoting the legalization of abortion and euthanasia? Proponents for physician-assisted suicide scored a great victory for their cause in 1994 with the passage of Oregon's Dignity Act. Since then, an average of 30 terminally ill patients per year have taken advantage of that liberalizing law which allow persons to take their own lives or permit physicians to assist in such acts of deliberate suicide. Many more, we are told, have obtained medications that would lead to their own self-destruction, but apparently have put them away in a cabinet, knowing that they are there in case they are needed. More recently, in November 2008, a popular referendum modeled after Oregon's new law was passed in the state of Washington. It was called the Death with Dignity Act. On its heels, a Montana court ruled that a terminally ill patient has a fundamental right to commit suicide as a matter of constitutional law. Other Western states like California, where 70% are in favor of such legalization, are poised to pass similar laws. And the movement is spreading to other states as far away as New England. This, my friends, is a social policy train that is already barreling down the legislative track and gaining speed as it goes. Unfortunately, the legislative victories inevitably reflect a changing mindset among the citizens of our nation. In 2006, the Pew Research Group reported that 60% of Americans believe a person has a right to end his or her life if suffering great pain with no hope of improvement. This is an increase of 20 percentage points since 1975. This statistic even reflects higher numbers of persons who claim denominational affiliation. 65% were Protestant, 54% were born-again Christians, 80% were non-believers.